Okay, Rex, we got maybe 3 minutes. Maybe some time for the next
I know that
one.
puppet. That's from that's Jabba the Hutt's puppet.
Yeah.
It's now a good time. I'm Dave's friend who called him.
Yeah.
Jabba the Hutt is so mean to me.
Yeah.
Did you think I was kidding, Lauren, when I said it was going to be a puppet?
Yeah.
I mean, I actually didn't. I thought you'd come up with something. If nonetheless, like pull your sock off, but
You know him well. Without knowing him very well.
You must be a fan of the bonus shows.
we do behind the scenes content where I talk about like my period and stuff like that. Our listeners just adore it.
Yes. Sure.
Probably do.
Well, we don't get into mine, but messy. I really liked this conversation. I liked the honesty between both of you guys and how you can riff off of each other and like you said, eat each other's sandwiches and prepare each other's sentences and all that good stuff. I really liked.
Sorry, I'll say this. Like we did one. We taught a class a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and I was out. I mean, I was out. I was down for the count for a number of reasons that I just was not emotionally ready. And Laura just like stepped up, and no, I don't think anybody who was listening knew the difference. Like that's what's so cool about it is it's just like
She carried it for you in that time. Yeah, that's very cool.
That's
you can do that for each other. It's such a
we have
beautiful connection.
Yeah.
And I really love Zach's short and simple, just do more of what they like and less of what they don't.
Hey, what,
and
man?
that seems to be
changed my marriage.
Really hard to communicate. I tell my wife all the time, but
stop
whatever. It seems.
So can I speak to that one more time?
Yeah.
Because when Rebecca and I came to that, part of what I also added was, listen, Reb, you're not doing anything wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. I just don't like it. I don't like it. Could you do it less? Like it's like, I'm not telling you you're doing something wrong. It just doesn't work for me. Please do it less. And she was like, okay.
Bam.
Genius.
Great.
Yeah.
Good.
But if it was all that easy, then our jobs would be obsolete. But there's a lot of us that gets in the way of being able to hear.
Don't tell anybody.
Well, and from my experience, you guys touched on this, the physiology or just kind of being aware of your own emotions and feelings.
Yeah.
And like Zach being aware of like, I don't like you doing this. It seems a lot of times that people, at least in my experience, and I'm not always so in touch with my feelings. I'm like, why am I upset right now? What am I mad? Am I excited? Am I worried? What is it? Like where's the base feeling here? And how do we, I think that's it. That's where people have a hard time communicating from where they know how to like barf out their emotions, but they don't really know what emotion that they're feeling at times. Is there something you can help or say that would help people be more self-aware of their feelings so they can maybe interact with their spouses better and have conflict better?
I mean, that's
it won't surprise you that I say you practice. I mean, literally, you practice.
Yeah.
And that may mean that you go and you look at a feelings wheel and you go, that's not the word I'm looking for. It looks like maybe it's this other word right here. I'll try out that word. And maybe it's a brand new word to you, which is fine. But like, I mean, honestly, it's just learn. I mean, every single thing that you know how to do, you did not know how to do until you started practicing. Walking, talking, every single thing. So if you want to learn how to do something new, you just start practicing.
I think.
What's the old saying? How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice.
Yeah.
Sorry, Laura.
It's true though. But for a lot of my clients who are learning emotional intelligence, they're learning them as adults because they're having to teach it to their kids. That we for whatever reason, it's much more acceptable for adults to lose it with each other, but it is not okay for your kid to lose it. I mean, we send them to their rooms, we punish them. I mean, we are right on it saying that's not an acceptable way to, share your feelings or your emotions. But when we start teaching our kids of how to identify, like, how are you feeling right now? Are you feeling frustrated? I'm feeling frustrated. Well, then let's call it frustration and let's share that and then now what do you do with that? So a lot of the couples I'm working with are learning how to identify their emotions by teaching it to their kids. And that's a lot easier. And actually a lot of my parents learn empathy and conflict management skills. They practice it on their kids before they take it to the high stakes relationship with their partner. So that's,
wisdom to that.
Yeah.
Wisdom to that. I like that. Kind of going that reverse direction, actually.
It's just so much easier. I mean, there's, rather than working with equals with children, there's a hierarchy. And so it just makes that teaching much easier, and it's slower and lower stakes relationship. I know a relationship with a kid doesn't feel lower stakes, but it is compared to, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well said.
Wow. Well,
I love that.
Our timekeeper. I know you guys got 1 minute. You got appointments next, but man,
thank you.
We'd love to have you back on a future show.
So lovely seeing you both.
Thank you. Thank you guys. Appreciate you thinking of us and asking us to come on.
Yeah.
Thank you for all you do individually, collectively, for this wonderful world and in marriage and relationships.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Yeah.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy all the things.
We'll be back in touch.
Thanks for joining us today. Hey, do us a favor and take a second to subscribe to our podcast and the Utah Marriage Commission YouTube channel at Utah Marriage Commission, where you can watch this and every episode of the show. Be sure to smash the like button, leave a comment, and share this episode with a friend. You can also follow and interact with us on Instagram at Stronger Marriage Life and Facebook at Stronger Marriage. So be sure to share with us which topics you loved or which guests we should have on the show next. If you want even more resources to improve your marriage or relationship connection, visit strongermarriage.org, where you'll find free workshops, e-courses, in-depth webinars, relationship surveys, and more. Each episode of Stronger Marriage Connection is hosted and sponsored by the Utah Marriage Commission at Utah State University. And finally, a big thanks to our producer, Rex Polanis, and the team at Utah State University, and you, our audience. You make this show possible. The opinions, findings, conclusions, and recommendations expressed in this podcast do not necessarily reflect the views of the Utah Marriage Commission.